If you want to see a different kind of film study, check out my movie channel. I just posted a video talking about the movie Barbarian and why the twist works, so definitely make sure you check that out. The link is in the description below, and anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video. Well, alright, does the Miami Dolphins defense have a chance at slowing down the Bills offense? Well, if you look at the last 2 times they played, they had mixed results. The box score you see on the screen is from the first game they played. This was in Miami, where a lot of guys ended up, leaving the game due to overheating and things like that. But you look at Josh Allen, over 400 yards, that's pretty good. But, on 63 attempts. So, got a lot of opportunities, to get those 400 passing yards. And even with that, it was kind of a, weird statistical day in the receiving category as, Singletary was weirdly the leading receiver, and then Isaiah McKenzie was number 2. No one had over 80 yards, despite 400 overall passing yards. Just kind of a weird game day, or he definitely distributed it across the board. The rushing totals also, they did, ran the ball effectively, but didn't really try too much. And I should probably say somewhat effectively, as, some of those rushing yards came from Josh Allen. Devin Singletary had 9 carries for just 13 yards, so he didn't do too much. But when Zach Moss was there, he did well, but maybe that was just given the situation that he was able to thrive. I don't really know exactly what happened there, so kind of weird just stuff in that category. But the next box score is significantly better, not for the running game too much. Again, Singletary still held under 4 yards per carry, but you see Josh Allen, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions on 40 attempts, so still getting a lot of opportunities to throw the football, but still at least putting up the bulk stats to go along with it. And the obvious notable stat, I think, is 6 touchdowns to 0 interceptions when he's playing Miami. That's definitely going to get it done. Although, worth mentioning, it didn't get it done one of those games. Miami did split the series, but still, you like that. Dawson Knox had a big day in the second matchup. And again, Diggs had solid days in both, but didn't really go off in either. But you know what? Stats can only tell us so much. Let's get into the film. Let's talk about what Josh Allen can do, what this Bills passing attack can do. Starting off with this play, this is just the ultimate Josh Allen play, where it's a cover 2 man, and this is going to be really well defended by Miami. Watch how Allen first gets over towards the read on his right, but doesn't love what he sees. It's well defended. And honestly, sometimes this can sink a play. Just this alone, you cover the first read, by that point pressure can come, and, that's all Allen gets a chance to look at, and he gets sacked. That happens sometimes in football. This play is just getting started. Allen then looks over towards his read on the left. Okay, good job by Allen getting to his second read quickly. The issue, that's not open either. So, okay, good job by Allen, but ultimately all for naught. And again, at this point, you expect things could start to get a little hairy quickly, as we are talking over 2.5 seconds into the play. Typically, 2.5 seconds is about how much you get before pressure comes. Allen now gets over towards his next read. Still no pressure. Still nothing open, interestingly enough. And again, you could sit here and say, well, Miami has to do a better job rushing the passer. One of the issues with rushing Josh Allen is you can't let him get outside the pocket, right? So you have to rush him a little bit differently. You can't just feel free to rush him in any select way, because if you try an inside move and it doesn't work out perfectly, well, great, now he's outside the pocket and has 10 seconds and is probably going to throw a 50-yard touchdown, so, you can't take that risk. That being said, Allen, at this point, still doesn't have a ton open, and it does look like pressure is finally about to come. So he just takes off. Watch him just go, and as an edge rusher is trying to get to him, he's still not there just quite yet. Allen has a little bit more time to potentially make something happen, but not a lot. He has a potential window, and he's saying, hey, this play's lasted this long, might as well take a shot. Allen makes that throw, and they are able to get a completion. So, just incredible. And, one of the potential concerns you could have about this Bills team is the fact that when Diggs kind of gets shut down, there's not a ton of other guys who can come in and make plays. Don't get me wrong, there's solid role players on this team, but it just, it's not Cincinnati, right? They don't have like a T. Higgins as a number 2 option. I like Gabe Davis. I don't think he's quite on that level. But the flip side, and kind of what makes up for that, is the fact that with Josh Allen's ability to do stuff like this, and the offensive line's ability to do stuff like that, got to give them their credit as well. But just Allen's ability to extend plays, whether it's through guys not being able to pass rush him regularly, or just legitimately getting outside the pocket and extending plays that way, it makes it just so much more difficult on a secondary who's already having a pretty tough job because you got to worry about number 14. Going over here, let's talk about number 14 for a second. This is going to be kind of a rub route designed to get Stephon Diggs open against man coverage, short of that flat area. It should work. This is something that you expect on paper to work. However, when Allen takes the snap, what you're going to see is that, it's good coverage. Well done by Miami to get them in position to where this is not open really that much at all. But, Josh Allen saying, hey, one-on-one matchup with Diggs, I got to take this chance. Even, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's third down. Let's see if we can make it happen. And look at this throw. I mean, perfectly accurate. Diggs makes a great catch, and they pick up the first down past, they get past the first down marker. Just an incredible play by both of those two guys. And the old expression of, a great catch and great throw can beat great defense. Well, that's what happened there, and that's definitely something that can just drive you crazy if you're a Dolphins fan. And also something like this, which again is kind of more traditional, but is definitely something that I expect to see in this game, which is it's a one-on-one matchup with Stephon Diggs on the outside. The Dolphins do like to play man. They do like to blitz. It's not quite what they did with Brian Flores, but, they said, hey, we have a defense built by Brian Flores. Let's make sure we still throw blitzes in here. And with the one-on-one matchup, watch what happens. Look at how when Diggs gets the inside leverage pretty quickly, Allen immediately knows, okay, throw to the inside. What's interesting about this play, though, for me, is that you look at Josh Allen, he's already in the throwing motion. So Diggs has not turned around. Diggs does not see where the ball is going to come out here. Allen is trusting that Diggs will get turned around by the time he has to. I mean, look at that. That's just the second Diggs turns around, he's catching a football, and they're able to pick up a chunk play. I don't know how you defend that. I just don't know what you do against that situation. That's unfair right there. I think that, Diggs is really, I've always liked Diggs as a player, but it's really only this past maybe year or two that I've really kind of felt like, no, he's actually like an elite top 5 receiver. I mean, that's how he's played this year at the very least. He's been incredible, and obviously Josh Allen is incredible as well. It's not really a bad Dolphins defense thing. It's kind of just like every team's going to struggle against that stuff. And finally, something like this for Miami, what else can you do? If the blitzing stuff doesn't work, you can try to play some zone, but I don't think that'll be too effective either, to be honest. I think blitzing is probably the right strategy. I think that's the right play. I don't know. But, they can just do stuff like this. If you're playing cover 2, to have a receiver who's going to run a deep route, take away the safety, and then tight end's going to run kind of a deeper route to get past the linebackers, but underneath the safety, where there should be a gap that he could get open. Watch how when Allen runs this play action, you're going to see that there's an opening right here. I mean, there just is. Allen makes this throw. They're able to pick up a big completion. And the reality is, with this Bills offense, I really do kind of feel like the only team that can beat the Bills offense is the Bills offense. We've seen it happen before where Josh Allen kind of melts down and they just have a game where they don't look great. We haven't really seen it in the playoffs since Josh Allen got good, but we have seen it happen before. And if you're a Dolphins fan, that's probably the pathway to success. It's just hope that you get one of those games where the Bills don't look godly, because when they do, you better look out. So predictions time. On the season, it definitely points towards Buffalo. Miami's defensive points per drive on the season is 2.25. Buffalo's offensive points per drive this season is a very good 2.66. That's a really good number right there. The points per drive in the first 2 matchups is 2.55 or 51 points in 20 total drives. I'm expecting something relatively similar. My prediction is 2.6 points per drive. That feels about right for me. So if this game is a 10-drive game, that means I am going to expect 26 points scored in this game for Buffalo. Is that enough for them to win? Well, my prediction is no. I have it being over a 10-point total victory. If you saw my last video about this, you know why I came up with the Dolphins score, why I think they'll just score 15 in this one. So definitely check that one out if you haven't already. But, that's kind of where I'm at with this team. Is I really think that the only way the Dolphins can win this game, in my opinion, is if they get some turnover luck, which we have seen the Dolphins do in previous years, not so much this year, but still, there's hope there. And then, obviously, I think Bridgewater has to come in and play well. I think those are the two things, because Tua's already out. But if that happens, then I think they do stand a chance. But without that, I think the Bills should be able to win by double digits. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.